You're my dad. And I was having resentment for all the stuff we don't talk about. Last night you came here, you knew it wasn't going to be easy. We're going to talk about stuff. And you showed up anyways. And you listened. Because I love you.
The audio hit. Ari Emanuel himself, head of Hollywood's biggest talent agency, confessed. Justin Baldoni wasn't fired for wrongdoing. He was taken down for simply being friends with Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. This wasn't rumor. It was a devastating admission, blowing up Blake's entire carefully crafted victim narrative. A promising career was brutally shattered, not by misstep, but by a chilling personal phone call, exposing Hollywood's ruthless underbelly. The world instantly knew Blake's claims were built on sand, a calculated betrayal to destroy a man's future without justice. Silence shattered, careers collapsed, truth began its brutal climb.
Very strongly believes that if they're able to add more women officially to the lawsuit, that the claims will look more legitimate.
Set about TikTokers coming out with information or believing that TikTokers are leaking information, well, then that kind of defeats her own argument.
My sister's life it's a lot.
Before the bombshell audio, Blake Lively spun a tale, claiming Justin Baldoni hurt her so profoundly she couldn't face the world. She presented herself as a fragile, fearful mess, too shaken and scared to handle simple public appearances. This narrative painted extreme emotional distress, suggesting a profound breakdown had left her incapacitated. She leveraged this vulnerability, wanting everyone to believe her life was derailed by an incident so severe it rendered her incapable of normal functioning, setting the stage for a saga of victimhood. Yet, this fragile persona quickly clashed with reality. Suddenly, Blake showed up at a Simple Favor premiere, acting as if she didn't have a care in the world. She confidently strutted the red carpet, posing for photos, clearly soaking up attention. This blatant contradiction immediately created a huge question mark. Someone supposedly on the verge of a breakdown, too terrified to leave her house, would surely hide from the spotlight, not embrace it with evident joy and ease, creating an undeniable inconsistency that baffled observers and sowed doubt. The inconsistency didn't go unnoticed. Paul Feig, director of A Simple Favor, didn't waste time calling out Blake's claims. He publicly shot down the idea she was terrified to be seen, dismissing her fears with one brief, impactful comment. He made it clear that if Blake was genuinely as afraid as she claimed, her own director, who worked closely with her, would have known. Feig's refusal to back her story was a total game changer, proving even those closest to her weren't buying her constructed victim narrative, instantly undermining her credibility. Behind the scenes, Blake was reportedly seething. For months, she acted as if emotionally wrecked, unable to continue normal life, yet appeared perfectly fine in public, posing for pictures and showing no fear facing cameras. This blatant discrepancy prompted questions. Was she faking the entire ordeal? Suspicion grew that her plan to blame Baldoni for her suffering looked increasingly suspicious, making her public appearances seem like a calculated performance rather than genuine distress, casting a dark shadow over her true motives. Meanwhile, Justin Baldoni's career faced devastating blows. His name was stripped from major projects, including a live-action Pac-Man film, and numerous other significant deals fell apart. Streaming platforms completely shut him out after WME, a top Hollywood agency, abruptly dropped him. Being unceremoniously dumped by such a powerful agency felt like a career death sentence, leaving no one willing to work with him. His future prospects evaporated, livelihood decimated, grappling with the ruins of a once thriving career, while Blake's star continued to shine brightly. The stark contrast was undeniable. While Justin's career lay in tatters, Blake Lively continued to cruise through her career as if nothing happened. She even landed a prominent job narrating a Hulu documentary, demonstrating she still wielded plenty of power and influence to maintain her name firmly in the spotlight. This effortless continuation of her glamorous life, securing new opportunities without career setbacks, starkly highlighted the profound imbalance. Exposing one person's ruin did not impede the other's ascent, painting a picture of calculated self-preservation. Further adding to the sinister plot, the Freakonomics podcast, which originally recorded Ari Emanuel's damning confession, mysteriously never aired the episode. Their excuse? A convenient technical glitch and lost recording. Nobody bought that flimsy explanation. It was far too convenient, given the explosive revelation. This alleged cover-up only deepened suspicions, making it seem as though powerful forces attempted to bury the truth and protect Blake's constructed narrative. But the audio eventually spread like wildfire anyway, defying all attempts at suppression. Blake's public actions continued to expose her hypocrisy. If she were truly that scared and on the verge of a breakdown, why was she constantly posting glamorous photos, attending high-profile events, and smiling widely for cameras? Instead of seeking peace away from the spotlight, she was flaunting herself at premieres and public appearances, even while telling the court her anxiety caused physical pain. This created an undeniable contradiction, revealing a person who wanted everyone to think she was a trembling mess while her actual behavior told a completely different story, undermining her claims of genuine distress. The evidence revealed Blake manipulated narratives to cast herself as a helpless victim while expertly protecting her own interests. She spun a story where Justin was the villain, deserving to be blacklisted from Hollywood, pretending the industry distanced itself from him due to terrible behavior. Yet, the truth crashed down. Justin wasn't punished for anything he did, but rather because Blake and Ryan wanted it that way, or at least because Ari Emanuel wanted to stay on their good side. Blake effectively pushed Justin to pay the ultimate price for her strategic maneuvering. This entire saga exposed a chilling aspect of Hollywood culture. It demonstrated how common it is for powerful stars like Blake to use their influence to ruin careers. Big names can simply decide someone is a problem and make calls to agency heads, cutting them out of deals with no investigation or proof, just a phone call or meeting behind closed doors. Suddenly, someone's career is over. This is precisely what happened to Justin, as a few well-placed calls removed him from major projects that could have skyrocketed his career and earned millions, all without due process. Justin Baldoni had high-profile deals lined up with streaming giants like Amazon Prime Video and Apple TV+, opportunities that could have cemented his status as a major player. But those vanished as soon as WME, Hollywood's most powerful talent agency, dropped him. No major platform wants to risk millions on someone unceremoniously cut by such an influential entity. These lost opportunities left him with professional scars that could last a lifetime, illustrating the profound and lasting damage inflicted by a calculated, behind-the-scenes maneuver orchestrated by powerful individuals. The lawsuit itself is a high-stakes gamble for Blake. Legal experts note most would settle to keep secrets hidden, but neither Blake nor Justin seems willing to back down. Blake is already too deep, having spun too many stories about the victim. If she gives in now, she would have to admit she fabricated it all, shattering her carefully maintained image as a champion against injustice. This would force her to face the brutal truth. She tried to destroy a man's career for no legitimate reason, a catastrophic blow to her public persona. On the other side, Justin Baldoni has absolutely no reason to settle. He is sitting on concrete, undeniable proof in Ari Emanuel's own words that his firing was purely personal and not based on any professional wrongdoing. This strengthens his defamation case immensely and completely exposes Blake's narrative. It proves she didn't suffer as she claimed. Instead, Justin paid the ultimate price due to her powerful friends leveraging connections. His refusal to settle is a clear indication of his confidence in the evidence and his pursuit of true justice. This case has become a ticking time bomb for Hollywood. If it goes to trial, texts, emails, phone calls, details of lost deals, and private conversations could all be exposed. This would reveal precisely how easily one actor with the right connections can crush another's career. It would also expose that agencies don't always investigate before making decisions, often acting simply to appease big stars, prioritizing influence over fairness. Blake clearly doesn't care about these wider implications, fixated on defending her fabricated story, thinking no one would challenge her, but she miscalculated spectacularly. In her desperate attempts to bolster her narrative, Blake even reportedly tried to drag Anna Kendrick into the mess over a simple favor rumors. While Paul Feig, the director, reportedly tried to cover up some initial tensions, it was clear that conflict existed behind the scenes, proving Blake isn't as sweet and innocent as she claims. At least Paul Feig ultimately refused to keep covering for her by publicly stating she wasn't too scared at the premiere, providing a small glimmer of honesty amidst the manipulation and disarray, further chipping away at Blake's constructed image. Blake's lack of remorse is striking. She continues strutting red carpets, doing interviews, and keeping social media buzzing with activity, all while painting herself as a shattered victim. This will become problematic if the case reaches trial, because she will have to stand by her lies in court under oath. Once lawyers present photos of her enjoying the spotlight, all her claims of being too afraid to leave the house will collapse, making any attempt to cry or play the victim card in front of a jury impossible, given the undeniable contradiction between her words and actions. The real motivation behind Blake's actions appears to be pure anger at Justin, and a calculated desire to remove him from projects. This wasn't about fear or trauma, it was about ego and a blatant power trip. She spun a dramatic emotional story about a harmless colleague, mistakenly thinking the court and public would blindly side with her. However, she severely miscalculated. Honest voices like Paul Feig told the truth, and the leak of Ari Emanuel's audio exposed the real reasons behind Justin's downfall, proving that truth, no matter how inconvenient, cannot be hidden forever. The consequences for Blake could be severe. If her deceit is fully exposed, Hollywood will not forget it. Studios might reconsider giving her roles, and fellow actors could hesitate to work with someone willing to manipulate truth for personal gain, especially in a legal setting. The fact that she took down Justin and cost him millions paints her not just as emotionally manipulative, but outright ruthless. This would be poetic justice for the harm she caused, as misusing the legal system to manipulate outcomes eventually catches up, regardless of how brightly a star continues to shine. The scandal is now escalating far beyond Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. It's threatening to entangle other major stars like Anna Kendrick and Ryan Reynolds. Gossip mills are churning, and questions are mounting about how far Blake's inner circle went to destroy Justin Baldoni's career. Were they all involved? Did Ryan Reynolds make calls, or did both he and Blake whisper in Ari Emanuel's ear, creating a narrative that increasingly resembles a conspiracy where power and connections are brazenly used to tear someone down, revealing the deep web of influence in Hollywood? Blake's carefully spun tale of anxiety and victimhood continues to fall apart under intense scrutiny, with her own director publicly contradicting her account and Ari Emanuel's leaked audio further dismantling her claims. The walls are undeniably closing in. If this case goes to trial, it could destroy more than just her career. It has the potential to expose the lengths some stars go to protect their power and drag in anyone who helped or lied for her. This is precisely the widespread exposure most celebrities meticulously avoid, yet Blake's choices have led her directly into this dangerous spotlight. Some speculate Blake might attempt a last-minute settlement if she truly realizes how badly this will look in court. However, that would require admitting Justin was right, paying a substantial sum, and completely dropping her baseless accusations, effectively confirming she never had a real case. Even if she tries to spin it as a mutual agreement, the public has already seen enough cracks in her story to view it as smoke and mirrors. Her own actions have cornered her, demonstrating she will do anything to protect her image, but the truth is catching up. In the end, all this chaos leads to one undeniable conclusion. Blake Lively, by all accounts, appears to be the villain in this twisted fairy tale. Acting purely out of self-interest, she refused to own up, even when her own director and a leaked audio recording exposed gaping holes in her story. Her attempt to appear helpless and in need of saving has completely collapsed, exposing her for what she truly is, someone who allegedly abuses power to destroy others, then tries to cover it up in plain sight. As her carefully crafted image unravels, her legacy may be permanently tarnished, a stark warning about the high cost of unchecked ambition and manipulation in Hollywood.